Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today on this live webinar session. So we had a live just recently, and if you'd like full details of our courses that we talked about in that session, you can find them on YouTube. Today I'm also definitely going to be talking about the courses and what makes us so special and different, and of course the professional level of the training. Is I really wanted to take a look at what course are you going to study for that big career opportunity. What course is the best program for you for your own brand, and which course would you select to really achieve the goals that you're looking for. Whenever we're selecting or helping students select their courses, we're really about what do you want to achieve. So in this webinar today, I really want to go through, what do you need to study to achieve certain goals, whether they be for your own brand or whether they be for your career. So, first of all, I just wanted to let you know we've been around since 2007. I'm not sure if a lot of you realise that we've been around for that long. And I actually developed these courses. It took me 2 years before that to develop all the courses, and then I got them all peer reviewed and registered. Now this is really important because this is the very first step that sets us apart from all the other workshops or courses or other 100-hour type training that's out there, is that we got them all peer reviewed from colleagues in the industry and members of the International Federation for Society of Cosmetic Chemists. So they were right back in the founding days with me from 2005, and I put these courses together. And again, it took me 2 years to put together all of the training and assessment materials. And then of course we've taken that time over the many years since then, all the ongoing audits and reviews and peer reviews by those members of Society of Cosmetic Chemists around the world to make sure that these courses are the best they can be. Again, whether you're trying to get a job with an employer, whether you're trying to advance your career, or whether you're formulating for your own brand and you simply want to have the best products that you can, or the best brand management approaches. So these courses have a really long history of peer review at a very high level, and of course this is why the courses are recognised by the International Federation for Society of Cosmetic Chemists, because members have reviewed them. They've been there for review processes over this entire time. They were there from the start and they're still there now. In fact, for those of you watching, I've got a live webinar coming up with Perry Romanowski soon, so just a little bit of a heads up, we will be letting you know dates soon, but keep that in your calendar for later in August. So we've got those kind of contacts in the industry, which means we've got some really good input on any industry updates or changes as they happen, and we really keep on top of making sure those changes are implemented. I've got a couple of websites here I'll show you now. If you click on any of the links in this presentation, or you can contact us for a copy of this presentation, these links will take you to the sites I'm going to show you. So for example, here is the IFSCC website, and you can see our courses are listed here straight away, very first cab off the rank, and of course it's all online. So we've got that international recognition from our professional peers. The other thing I want to show you straight away is the government website, which shows you we are a government recognised training college. So again, we're not just calling ourselves a college, we're not just calling ourselves an institution, we are government recognised. This is a .gov.au site. We are registered in Australia with the government, therefore our training at a college level is recognised around the world by other governments as well. So we have that industry recognised and internationally recognised professional level training, which is so important. If you're going to be studying a program, it is a big investment of your time, it's an investment of funds. You want to know that you're investing wisely. So when you want to have that really professional brand, when you want the best possible training so that you have the answers to your problems, then study with us. If you want to grow your career, your course with us will be recognised by a potential employer. It's 100% online training, which means you can study at any time, anywhere in the world, but you also get one-on-one trainer support. Now this is really important. You're not just going to be stuck on the other side of the world without help. You can actually contact a qualified trainer and they will provide you assistance with your specific questions. They're there to support you with that training. It's not a forum, so you're not just stuck in another group with other people trying to guess your way through. You actually actually have a one-on-one private conversation via email or phone or Zoom, whatever's most convenient, with your trainer to get answers to your problems. And of course, that's the best way to make sure that you get the help you need to suit your particular learning style. The study itself is flexible in duration. You can have up to 3 times the normal study duration. As an example, our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation, it is 1,200 hours of study. And again, this is one of the things that really sets us apart. You might see another diploma elsewhere. It's about 100 hours. What are you learning in 100 hours when a proper cosmetic chemist needs our 1,200 hour training to get the proper cosmetic qualification? Cosmetic chemist qualification. So there is a big difference in the study volume. Now, this particular program normally takes around 12 months to complete if you're able to study around 20 hours a week. Now, you're probably sitting there going, okay, Belinda, I've got a family, I've got a full-time job, how am I going to do that? That's fine. You don't have to put in 20 hours a week. If you want to complete in 1 year, then that's what we're recommending. But of course, you can take up to 3 times the normal study duration. You can take up to 3 years to complete that program, and that's perfectly okay. And then of course, you'd be studying around 6 hours a week. So again, it's about fitting it in to suit your lifestyle. We do have shorter advanced certificate options which take training from our diploma, and I will take a look at those in this webinar for you. And of course, if you have any questions about any of our programs, if you're a little shy, if you're not writing them in the chat bar, just email us info@personalcarescience.com.au and we will have that discussion with you. So even with our advanced certificate options, you're still looking at around 300 hours of study, and a lot of practical work is involved. And these are, again, very important differences with the training that we provide, because you can't possibly learn at a professional level if you're not putting this amount of time into learning about the hundreds, thousands of different materials that are out there. Now, all of our programs have a very good balance of natural, organic and synthetic formulation in them, and I will take a look in a moment at what you can expect to learn from our different programs. We do have this approach because if you're trying to create something very naturally or using organic ingredients, you need to understand the synthetic materials that you want to replace before you can replace them effectively. So if all you've ever done is formulated with natural or organic materials and you feel like you're hitting a bit of a brick wall when it comes to performance or other aspects of the product, shelf life, stability, it's because you're not understanding what is fundamentally wrong or what the fundamental issues or restrictions are with the natural or organic materials that you're using. When you better understand the synthetic materials that you're trying to replace, then you can make better natural and organic choices. So we've got a really balanced approach to formulating with all of the different types of materials. And then of course, in your assessments, you can definitely focus on the materials that you're more likely to use in the real world. When you finish studying with us, and even during your study, you get to be a part of our very professional community. And this is a community that is filled with cosmetic brand managers, that is already filled with cosmetic chemists, and it's filled with other students on their study journey. So it's a fantastic community to be a part of. It is not just people working at a hobby level guessing, it is qualified people that you are in that community with. It is also moderated by our marketing manager and our cosmetic chemist, so we make sure that the posts and support that's put out there is and always remains at a very professional level, so you don't end up getting confused by other people's responses, you know, in a forum or community based type environment. Ours is a very professional, high level community. I just want to introduce you to our team, and of course you can read more about them on our website. This is Why Study with IPCS. There's our entire team there, and we have this great video you might want to watch after today. After this webinar, Careers in the Cosmetic Industry. I take a look at the various roles that are available in the cosmetics industry, whether it be for an employer or whether it be in your own brand. A lot of the technical, regulatory and even brand management roles that are absolutely essential in our industry, and some of them you may not have been aware existed. Some of those in the background R&D type roles with suppliers, or even sales of raw materials to chemists or other meetings, other development roles. Again, it's not just about being a cosmetic chemist to formulate products for your own brand. It's not just about being a cosmetic chemist to formulate products to work for either a contract manufacturer or within a larger company. There's a lot of other quality development, research-based roles, even product evaluation roles that you can apply for when you have a qualification from IPCS. So the trainers, we have more information about each of the trainers and our team on this page. There's me, there's Tasman and Marika, our cosmetic chemists. So there's 3 cosmetic chemists here working to make sure that the training you get and the support you get is the best it can be. And we have Victoria in brand management, who's worked with dozens of brands on real world situations, real world scenarios, helping them prepare their products to be more successful in the marketplace and working on those all important media plans. So we've got a lot of experience here to support you and make sure that you're getting the level of training that you've signed up for. And that's one of the things you really want to look for when you're deciding, you know, where are you going to go for that study and training. As I say, it's a big investment of your time. There's not only the cost factor, but there's the time factor. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best possible training and the best possible support as well. We also have our courses regularly reviewed by peers in the industry, so other cosmetic chemists, other brand managers within the industry, both from our local society and from the International Federation. And this is to make sure that we are keeping up with all of the latest industry relevant issues, problems, solutions, and of course any trends that might also be important to learn about. When you study with the Institute, you will get a recognised qualification. Again, you've seen the IFSCC recognition, you've seen our government credentials. You can apply for jobs in the industry. This is another great opportunity we have for our graduates. We have a lot of jobs posted. One of the things you'll see, this is on our website, and we connect our students and graduates with employers looking for positions available. You'll see here that they directly specify you need training from us. And if you go on this page and you have a look through, you'll see that they all specify that they want to see our qualification on your resume. Now, most employers will prefer to see the Diploma of Personal Care Formulation if it's a cosmetic chemist role, but you'll see they can also accept our Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science. And of course, if you're going to apply for an organic position, they'd want to see our Certificate in Advanced Organic Formulations. And again, this differs to a lot of your other organic workshops out there, and I'll go through that later in this webinar. Or if you're going to apply for a makeup manufacturer, they're going to want to see our Certificate in Advanced Makeup Formulation on your resume. Why? Because they know that when you've been trained by us, you've been trained properly in all of the regulatory quality, ingredient checks, ingredient compatibilities, formulation aspects, and of course you learn how to access the best materials to do the best job in the product. When you study with us, you get access to a database that is full of thousands of raw materials and supplier details. And this is really important because you can't make those standout products and formulas if you can't access the right material that's going to give you the performance or solution that you need. So again, this is on our jobs page. We post all the jobs here. We keep our students regularly informed of any positions available. And again, you'll see that they list our qualification very specifically as one of the things they look for when you apply for a position. So if you're comparing price only for study, please make sure you also compare the content, the amount of hours involved in the study. Please also compare what sort of assessments might be required, and please also take a look at what sort of real-world experience or practice you're going to get before you graduate. So make sure you're comparing the content and the qualification. Remember too, when you're applying for a position with an employer, they're going to look at who you've studied with, and as you can see, the Institute of Personal Care Science is recognised by employers and the International Federation of Society of Cosmetic Chemists and your local Society of Cosmetic Chemists all over the world. Our other qualifications also similarly recognised. The diploma tends to be the one a lot of employers want when they're hiring a cosmetic chemist. And of course, when you've got your own brand, if you want the title Cosmetic Chemist and if you want to be recognised by peers in the industry as a qualified cosmetic chemist, then the Diploma of Personal Care Formulation is the qualification you should be studying for. That will give you the qualification that people will recognise as a cosmetic chemist level. One of the questions I often get at this point, and I will look at it later as well, is do I need to be a cosmetic chemist for my own brand? The short answer is no, you don't, but you are still responsible for the safety and reliability of that product formulation you put in the marketplace. So as long as you're learning at a very professional level, as long as you're doing all of your quality and stability checks to ensure safety, performance over the shelf life of the product, you don't need to be a cosmetic chemist to formulate for your own brand. But you do need to make sure that that product is going to have key stability, safety and performance markers that are going to be maintained throughout the entire shelf life to protect the safety and the consumer's purchasing. So that is really important to get professional training to make sure that you achieve that level of professionalism in the marketplace with your products. I will again take a look at that a bit later, but at this point, because we're talking about careers and also for your own brand, there's bound to be a few of you asking that question. So some of the key differences when you study with us, and we do have this on our website. We do have an example of the assessment, and again, this is going to give you a bit of an indication about the volume of learning. There is a very big volume of learning with our diploma in particular. Now this is just an example. I've just taken snippets from our study checklist and our assessment. I'm obviously not going to show you the actual assessment questions. These are examples, these aren't the same. And of course we have so much more in the actual training. What I wanted to show you here was a little bit of a snippet of what it's like, how do we direct your study, and what level of questions will you get. Now this is starting from the very first unit. I will take you through to the very final unit. You'll see there's a big difference. And I like to say to people, when we train you, we want to make sure that it's like an onion. We want to build on the layers of knowledge. So even if you don't have a strong chemistry or strong science background, we're going to teach you everything you need that's relevant to being a cosmetic chemist. We're not going to teach you how to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to know the chemistry involved in that. You do need to know the chemistry involved in safe and high-performing personal care products, and that's what we'll teach you from the ground up. And this is also important even if you come from, say, a pharmacy background. You would be great at solving some pharmaceutical issues or working with drug delivery. It's very, very different when you're then working with cosmetics. Cosmetics have an entire sensory platform that you have to achieve and compete on. We have entirely different regulations about claims and performance for the product. So again, we teach you all of this, whether it's for your own brand or for a career. We give you the cosmetic chemist perspective. So as an example, with our study checklists are broken down into bite-sized pieces. So we are telling you what to watch, what to read, what to do every step of the way. So you're never lost. You're never going, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing now. You know, we've got here, read the first chapter, watch this lecture. And of course, we give you access to all of these documents when you actually study with us. And then we even guide you on which questions are the assessment to answer. So here's just some example questions. Even from the very start of your study, we are looking very heavily at the type of processing materials go through so that you understand properly. There's so much misinformation on the internet about how natural or not a substance really is. So we get you learning straight away to be able to read and understand that documentation for yourself. We get you straight away knowing which sources are reliable sources of information. How do you trust what's out there? How do you find the information you need? So we get you straight away working with those sources. We talk about compositions, we take a look at how you get the correct names of ingredients, safety. There's an entire chapter on safety, how to calculate out safety, how to look at results to determine safety, compliance, and this is multi-country compliance. Off the top of my head, it's Australia, New Zealand, USA, Canada, South Korea, China, UK, EU, ASEAN, Japan, South Africa. So we teach a multi-country compliance. I'm pretty sure I just got them all. That was off the top of my head. You can definitely contact us to check your country if I didn't name it, and you'll know that covers a lot of your major regulations around the world. So if I fast forward just to take you through, just to show you the very high level of learning we get to, by the time you get towards the end of the program, you are looking at absorption, you have to actually submit formulas for different product types. You know, we're going to check these are stable, are suitable, do have the performance required, do meet the performance aspects that you'll need. This is for skin, for cosmeceuticals, hair, all your different hair types of products. So again, if you have a look online, this is 42 pages of examples, and of course when you study with us it is more than that again. I do want to emphasize the volume of training, because when we're ever talking to someone about their study goals, we want to make sure they realize this is not just the type of course that you can do in a couple of weekends. It's impossible. It's not 100 hours of study. It is 1,200 hours of study for our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation. There's also 70 practical activities in that diploma. So you're hands-on a lot throughout the program. It's not just about learning what different materials do, it's about working with those different materials to see the difference and the impact they have under different conditions or different processing methods in your formula. So we make sure that you're ready by the time you finish the program, that you know the right method for different types of ingredients. So that was an example of the assessment. We've talked about the industry approved and recognised training. In our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation, there is 60 plus hours of actual lectures, and again those lectures you'll see me explaining what you need to be learning and then guiding you again every step of the way. There is a full Cosmetic Chemist textbook, more than 1,300 pages in that textbook, teaching you full cosmetic science. We'll look at what you'll learn to formulate in a moment, but it's basically every type of personal care product. In the diploma, you learn every type of personal care product. We have a practical kit, so you can also go online and see what's in that practical kit. We send this practical kit to you because, as I've mentioned, there's around 70 different practical activities in the Diploma of Personal Care Formulation. In our Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science, there's 50. So it's a very big practical content in our program. We get you formulating straight away, we get you working with different materials straight away, because if you don't work with the materials, you really can't learn the best parts and the worst parts and the processing that they need. Method is crucial, and you can't learn all of this if you don't actually work with the materials and have the successes and failures at that bench point, just to know what you need to be doing to make the right selections and methodology in the future. The learning materials, as you could see, bite-sized pieces. We break it down into chunks, and again there's a whole lot more than the examples we provide. You'll get all of it when you actually study with us. I talked about the one-on-one training support. I want to emphasize again, this is not a forum, it is one-on-one with your trainer, and again that can be done via email, it can be done via call. We tend to use Zoom for those calls. When you study with us, we give you detailed study feedback on your assessments. Of course, you get access to our raw materials database with thousands of different materials in there and supplier details. And we work a lot with real life work scenarios. So it's not just quizzes and games when you study with us, it is real life formulation examples with our brand management program. You actually prepare your media plan, your media strategy, you prepare your cost budgets, your times, you prepare all of your market research. All of this is part of your assessments because we're getting you real world ready. We're giving you scenarios that you'll encounter, whether it be as your own brand or whether it be in a workplace for an employer. You are practicing those scenarios in your assessments so that you're ready for the real world when you graduate with us. So what will I learn to formulate? Now we have a really big one of these in our prospectus, but I just want to explain the little pyramid and what it means. In our Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science, you will cover everything that's listed here, and this is ideal for your own brand, or if you already have a degree like a degree in chemistry, a degree in science, or say a pharmacy degree, and you want to learn specific to the personal care industry, and you want to learn fast. Our certificate in advanced cosmetic science takes 6 full units and 4 half units from our diploma of personal care formulation, so it's still pitched at a diploma level, but it's not enough volume of learning in it to call it a diploma. It's 300 hours of study. As I've mentioned, our diploma is 1,200 hours of study. One of the government's criteria that we have, because we are a government recognised college, is we can't call a program a diploma unless it has at least 900 study hours. So there's a big difference already with, say, other courses out there calling themselves a diploma, or other courses calling them a certificate. The volume of learning is dramatically different. So for us, because we're government regulated, we cannot call a program a diploma if it has less than 900 study hours. So that's a very big difference, and like I say, it's a government audited requirement. So it's not just me telling you or making up numbers. We're actually audited by the government. They come and see us and they check, are we delivering the training we're promising? Are we making sure that you are real world ready? And does the volume of our courses and programs represent what you should know to hold that qualification? And of course, we pass with flying colours. Our certificate in advanced hair formulations, this program here teaches you your salon quality hair care products. It covers all of your shampoo, conditioner, treatment, leave-in, spray-on. It covers every type of hairstyling product. So we do teach aerosols for your mousses and your hairsprays. You of course also learn like your gels, your pomades, your waxes, and you even learn temporary hair colorants. That's in the certificate in advanced hair formulations. The certificate in advanced cosmetic science, of course, also covers off on all your salon cosmeceutical products for the skin, for the face, also teaches sunscreens. So one of the other things that the advanced certificates also teach is good manufacturing practice, microbial control. We even teach you how to test and conduct microbial testing. We teach you full stability. There's no point learning how to formulate if you don't also learn how to test and check the stability and shelf life of that formula. We teach you how to plan those protocols, how to run those protocols, how to do all of the tests so you can do your own stability testing when you train with us. And of course, then if something goes wrong, we teach you also how to evaluate the results of your stability testing and how to fix it, which of course is always important. That's in our advanced certificate options. In our full diploma, additional things, so you learn everything that's in those advanced certificates plus so much more. And again, this is the one that gives you the qualification Cosmetic Chemist. So additional things you learn in this program are where there are a lot of regulatory or safety checks. So your personal hygiene products, some other aerosol types of products, depilatories, perming, hair straightening, permanent hair colorants, as well as everything else, all your cosmeceutical salon products, all your hairceutical salon products, all your different types of styling products, sunscreens, of course. That's in the diploma program. We also have our certificate in advanced organic formulation and certificate in advanced color cosmetic formulation. A couple of things I want to just point out with these programs. Again, they're very different to what some other training might offer as a certificate option. Again, we can't call them a diploma. These represent 150 study hours, but they already assume that you know how to formulate. So we don't teach you basic formulation skills here. By the time you come to our certificate in advanced organic formulation, we would expect that you're already familiar with how to construct a stable, safe and high-performing formula. For example, in our certificate in advanced organic formulation, we address very specific topics and issues. So for example, you can't call a product organic just because you've got some organic oil in there. You can't call it organic just because you've swapped out a synthetic emulsifier for a more natural one. To be called organic, it really needs to be a certified organic product. And whenever you want to certify a product, you need to have all the extra documentation that a certifier will expect, but you also need to make sure that formula meets very specific compositional requirements. So there's certain percentages of organic ingredients that product must contain. There's certain ingredients that product absolutely cannot contain. And then there's everything else that goes into a formula as well. So in our certificate in advanced organic formulations, we teach you the full compliance and compositional training to get the product certified. We also address extra issues of manufacture, good manufacturing practice, even the cleaning that your workplace will have to undergo to achieve organic compliance. And we also talk about setting up the manufacturing area to achieve organic compliance. So it's very much about being certified organic, not just calling your product organic because it contains a few organic oils. We do cover your cosmeceutical and high performance products in this program. We do cover your hair products, which again, if you've tried to formulate truly certifiable organic hair care products, you'll know they are a very, very big challenge. So we actually look at solving the problems, solving the issues, solving the challenges when you are formulating to a certifier's requirements. Again, it's not just about swapping out some ingredients. It's not just about using some natural plant oils or organic plant oils in place of a nice skin feel ester. There is so much more involved in making a commercially successful certified organic product, and that is what we really focus on in that program. The Certificate in Advanced Color Cosmetic Formulation teaches you every type of makeup, including nail polish. It also teaches you the very important manufacturing and quality checks of color cosmetics. So again, it's not just about, you know, mixing some mica and some iron oxides and making a mineral foundation and saying, hey, now you've learned. We are actually addressing a lot of your high performance color cosmetics, every type of color cosmetic. Let's just think mascaras, eyeliners, eyeshadows, color matching. We teach you color matching in this program. We also teach you multi-country compliance. Different countries around the world have different regulations over the type of colorants that can be used, and even the amounts of colorants that can be used, and even where those colorants get used, whether they can be used on the lips or the face or the eyes. So we teach all of that. So again, it assumes you already know how to put a formula together, a high performing stable formula. It already assumes you know how to do stability testing, because in these programs we are really looking to solve the specific problems that happen when you're trying to make really high performing, commercially successful color or certified organic products. So, a career in formulating. Which courses are best for you? Again, the Diploma of Personal Care Formulation is the best program. It's the one that the employers look for the most. If you have another science-related bachelor or degree qualification, you could also look at our certificate in advanced cosmetic science with your degree, and that would also get you a very high standard or high ranking with that potential employer. But there's other roles. Our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation, of course, gives you the title Cosmetic Chemist or Cosmetic Formulator, and it is recognised by the International Federation for Society of Cosmetic Chemists. But you can also work as an R&D chemist in developing some of the exciting raw materials that we work with, or working as an R&D chemist in the background developing formulas that suppliers would then bring out to potential cosmetic chemists for companies to show them how different ingredients are showcasing a new innovation or performance aspect. So you can work with a cosmetic manufacturer in formulation development, R&D, quality or production. You can work with a raw material supplier in formulation development, R&D, quality or production, even in sales. You can definitely get a position as a lab assistant. And of course, if you're applying for a position with an organic manufacturer, you should also have, so again, you'd need at least our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation or Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science and our Certificate in Advanced Organic Formulation. Or if you're going to apply with a colour manufacturer, you'd want the Diploma or Advanced Certificate in Cosmetic Science and our Certificate in Advanced Colour Cosmetic Formulation. And of course, if you want to have a brand where you have natural and organic color makeup, then you should be looking at our Diploma or Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science, as well as our Certificate in Advanced Organic Formulation and Certificate in Advanced Color Cosmetic Formulations. This will be what the employers look for, and of course, if you want to have your own brand with these very professional high-end products, this is the study that will get you there. Other careers, if you're looking for a job with an employer, In cosmetic brand management, our Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management provides that, again, industry recognized qualification. This is 900 study hours to complete this program, and as I mentioned, you actually work on real world projects. If you don't have a real world project, we can give you a simulated real world project, but we have a lot of people that already have a project, whether they're working for an employer and they're looking to upskill specific in our industry. We have people come through even that have project management already as a qualification, but it's not specific to our industry. This training is very specific to our industry. So we teach full cosmetic market research, media planning, product performance testing, labels and claims, complying with those requirements, budgeting, packaging, sourcing, legal and ownership and business considerations, and case studies from real brands. So you really get to see what happens in the real world of managing and developing your own brand, or as part of another company's brand when you do our Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management. And you can also take care of regulatory compliance for an employer. That's with our Certificate in Cosmetic Regulatory Essentials. Again, it teaches multi-country compliance, includes EU product information file training. So you learn everything about preparing that product information file, compiling all the information for a safety assessor, all the information you need for the cosmetic product notification portal. That is all taught in that program as well. And it even prepares you for a position if you were going for a role in product evaluation, or if you need to take up the role of product evaluation within a company as part of that brand management or regulatory position, and of course for your own brand as well. So when you're formulating for your own brand, again, Diploma of Personal Care Formulation is only really necessary for your own brand where you want to formulate very specialized types of products, and I've listed them at the bottom, or you want the title of Cosmetic Chemist. Even when you have our Certificate in Advanced Cosmetic Science, you will still be learning very professional level products and still be recognized as someone who's very serious about their role, about their brand, by the Society of Cosmetic Chemists. So they still know that you're getting that high level of training. It's just a more shortcut and essential learning approach without having to do the full diploma of study. We also have our Certificate in Advanced Hair Formulations, which is ideal if you really just want to focus on salon quality shampoos, conditioners, all your different types of hair styling products, and of course temporary colorants as well. And as I mentioned before, when you want to work with depilatory products, permanent hair colorants, curling and straightening products, oral care, deodorants, antiperspirants, aerosols, and even therapeutic skin and scalp care, externally applied products, even if they fall under a therapeutic scope, then our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation is the program where you'll get that extra level of safety and regulatory training required for these types of products. Other courses, if it's for your own brand, is Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management, of course, to make sure that you're very successful in managing that brand and that you also take into consideration all of the elements that are going to help you get there. And of course, as I've mentioned, with the Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management, you're working on real world projects. So you actually have an experienced person here as your trainer, overlooking and checking your actual plans before you launch the product in the marketplace. So if you've ever thought, oh, I really want to check my plans, are they going to work? Is this product concept going to work? Is my marketing going to work? Do my budgets work? That's part of your projects. So we not only teach you everything you need to know to make sure that you're ready, but that is part of your assessments that we are looking at these real world projects. If you're still not sure if you want to dip your big toe in, or if you think, hey, I think I know what I need to know, I would welcome you to start with our Cosmetic Brand Business Workshop. This is a short course workshop we have on our website, and it's great for you if you're thinking, well, do I know? Am I really prepared with what I need to know? When you do this workshop, I am guaranteeing there will be something in there that you don't know, and you can't know what you don't know until it's pointed out to you, and then you can see, okay, this is what I need to do to improve in this area, especially for your own brand. So if you go into this workshop, the first lecture is absolutely free. You can find it on our website, and you go in, you watch that first lecture, and then you can purchase the whole workshop series, and I will put 100% money back guarantee behind that workshop that there's something in there worth at least the 195 Australian dollars of that workshop if you're going to have your own brand. It will teach you something you didn't already know and prepare you for the real world. And again, that's just a snippet, that's just a workshop compared to our full diploma, which is 900 hours of study. And again, if you get a lot of learning from that brand business workshop, which I'm guaranteeing you will, then you're going to suddenly get to the big diploma and go, wow, I am so glad I did this. Now I know how to invest my funds in my media planning, in my product, in its promotions, even in sourcing your materials or your manufacturer or your packaging. It teaches you everything to make sure that your brand's got the best chance of success out there. And of course, if you're in the EU, you need to learn EU PIF training. We do have the EU PIF training available as workshops separately. You don't have to do the full certificate in Cosmetic Regulatory Essentials, but if you are going to be responsible for your cosmetic products, if you're going to be that responsible person, you should also be doing the certificate in Cosmetic Regulatory Essentials to make sure that you are acting in the way that you need to fulfill your responsible person roles. And again, that's very EU specific, but also for other countries around the world where you're responsible for the regulations of your product, including its ingredients, including its claims, its labels, the evidence you hold, and even making sure that you have recall procedures in place to meet the requirements of any product put into the marketplace. The certificate in Cosmetic Regulatory Essentials teaches all of those things. So I have got a bit of a snapshot over the next slides. Again, you can contact us for this full slide presentation or watch it on YouTube again. I've done a bit of a summary so that you can see what's in each program. And again, we really want to make sure before people study with us that they're aware that these are professional training courses, so the volume of learning is significant. I've said several times our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation is 1,200 hours of study. What we don't want someone sitting there going, oh, I've worked in the industry for 5 years and I have a degree in chemistry. I reckon I could get it done in, like, a couple of hundred hours. I'm going to tell you right now, you won't be able to do that. And we don't want you coming to study with us only to set yourself up for failure by expecting to complete it in a shorter time frame. We have the hours of study very clearly stated because we want to make sure that you're getting the volume of learning and the depth of study that you've come to us for. We pride ourselves on this very high professionalism, this high standard of professionalism. We are recognised by employers, by the International Federation, and the reason for that is we don't shortcut our courses. We do have a bit of a shortcut if you're looking for one, but it won't give you the qualification. So we have what we call is a study only option, and this accompanies every one of our courses. Let me explain this to you, because if you're sitting there going, I'm a bit short on time, I'm a bit short on funds, and I really don't need the qualification, I just want the learning, then our study only option is for you. Now, when you pick the study only option, it is half the full course price, but you don't need to do assessments. You won't get any support, so please don't ask. If you pick study only, it is purely for you to study in your own time under your own methods. You're not able to ask for support. That's why it's half the price. And of course, without assessments, we can't issue you a qualification. So you can also start that way too. If you think, well, look, I maybe haven't got the full amount of time or the full funds right now to do the full diploma option. Can I still get some learning? Absolutely. You can start with the study only option. You can upgrade and pay the difference. There's no penalty fee. You just pay the difference and you can start the diploma later. One of the great things about this, especially if you're a little bit time poor for the study, maybe you haven't studied in a while, maybe you're not sure if you can keep up with the actual study. Maybe you just want to get started first, see what study is like with us before you commit to the full diploma. You could actually start with the study only option for a good year or so and be working and monitoring yourself as you go, and then upgrade later to the diploma, and your 3 years starts from the time you start the official diploma. So in effect, you can actually buy yourself a little bit of extra time by starting with the study only option and getting some of the learning that's going to make your job, your life easier, and then upgrade to the full diploma when you know you can commit to the study load, complete the assessments, get support and help if you need it, and get your full qualification. And again, there's no penalty to do it that way, you just simply pay the difference. So that is another option if you're either time or funds limited at the moment, or maybe want to see what study with us is like before you pay the full diploma fee. As a bit of a summary in terms of volume and content, 1,200 hours of study, 70 full lectures, around 60 hours lecture time, 1,300 plus pages in our textbooks, a database with thousands of raw materials. You get lifelong access to that database. Another great thing about the textbooks, they are electronic. You get lifelong access to those textbooks. This is great because when we upgrade or update the text to suit the latest industry advances or trends, you get access to the latest version. And this is, you start studying with us now, and in 10 years time you've still got access to everything, including those updates as we go. There is 70 practical activities and a practical kit as part of the diploma. There is 3 written assessments, a practical submission. You need to actually send product to us. We review it and evaluate your ability to put product together. So there's actually product samples you have to make, and an open book exam. Now don't panic at the word exam. We get you ready before the exam, and the exam is really set to be another real world scenario. We give you a brief, we ask you to formulate a product to that brief. There's 2 of those in the exam that you need to complete, but you would have written so many more formulas before that as part of your assessments. We are simply going to make sure that you're ready for that exam before you sit it. And of course you've made practical samples, so you've already been making formulas, making product, putting product together. You are very ready for that exam before it comes to that day. You of course do get the one-on-one support via email or phone or Zoom, and you get to be a part of that professional student and graduate community. So again, we have the study only option. Please remember, if you pick the study only option, you get absolutely every bit of training. You get access to that database, you get access to our textbooks, again, lifelong access, but you don't get study support. You don't have to complete any assessments, and of course you can't get your qualification without the assessments. So there is a price difference for that reason, but it is a great way to dip your big toe in and get started if maybe you don't have the full time to study right now or the full funds. Our full diploma, you can also pay by installment. So we do have installment options. We do have these in the back of our prospectus. We have the installment options that you can pay monthly, or of course email us if you want some more information about installments. We're happy to do this too, because we do realize that not everyone's got those funds up front. I have put some approximate conversions in US dollars, euro and Great British pounds. Please note our courses are quoted in Australian dollars. Of course there's currency fluctuations all the time, so these are approximates. Please don't quote us on the approximate equivalents, because it can vary at any time. The Australian dollar of course doesn't alter. Our quotes are in Australian dollars, so if you've got a currency converter, you can type in the Australian dollar amount and you can see what it is in your currency at any given time. Just remember that does alter over time, which is why I've written approximate here. Our certificate in advanced cosmetic science, again, this is the other professional training program that a lot of employers look for, especially if you already have a degree or bachelor qualification in chemistry or related science. This is 300 hours of study. This one's also the ideal choice for your own brand if you don't want the title cosmetic chemist. It's 30 full lectures over 20 hours lecture time, 500 plus pages of professional cosmetic science textbooks, the database again with thousands of raw materials, 50 practical activities and a practical kit, 2 written assessments, one-on-one support via email and phone, and access to that professional student and graduate community. We again have the study only option. Again, please remember, study only option means you get all of the learning resources as if you're a full student. You don't get study support, you don't have to do assessments, and of course without the assessments you can't get the qualification. But you can upgrade later at any time. You just pay the difference, and we start you up as a student from there, and you get the full amount of time to complete that as if you're a fully enrolled student from that date. Our certificate in advanced hair formulation, again, this is professional training if you are focusing on hair care, hair styling and colorant products. So with this one, this is also great for those wanting a professional range for a salon, for example. Again, 300 hours of study, 30 full lectures, 20 plus hours lecture time, 500 plus pages of cosmetic science textbooks, the database, again, full of thousands of raw materials and supplier details, 50 practical activities and your practical kit, 2 written assessments, the support via email or phone, and access to that professional community. Again, we have a study only option and we have the full advanced certificate option. Our certificate in advanced color cosmetic formulation, as again you'll see here a bit of a summary about the time and content. I do just want to reiterate that we do assume you already know how to put a formula together. You already know what your materials need to be doing in the formula for it to perform effectively, for it to be stable. We really focus on solving the many issues that occur when you move towards a certifiable formulation. And again, just to reiterate, it's not just about putting a few organic ingredients in a formula and then calling it organic. There are very strict compositional requirements that you need to achieve to certify a product with organic certifiers, and this is what we teach in this program. We also teach more than one certifier. So again, off the top of my head, Cosmos compliance, USDA NOP, NASA certification, the Japanese certifier, BDIH, we have them all in the program. So you can pick and choose which certifier you want to use, and we teach you the different compositional requirements for each of those certifiers. And of course, we have a big emphasis on making sure that you're creating high performing, very stable organic formulas that can be certified. And there is a big difference to just putting a few organic ingredients in and thinking it's a certified product. There's a very big difference. About 150 hours of study, again, because you've already got that really strong foundation of knowledge. 11 full lectures, 150 plus pages of cosmetic science textbook focusing purely on solving a lot of those organic formulation and performance issues. The database, 20 practical activities and practical kit, written and practical assessment, one-on-one support, and access to that professional student and graduate community. Again, we have a study only and full advanced certificate option for you. Our certificate in advanced, that was color, sorry. So our certificate in advanced color cosmetic formulations, this one focuses very much on your color matching, your regulations for your color ingredient selection. Also focuses on all of the formulation aspects to get the right sensory and performance from your color cosmetics. Every type of color cosmetic, including nail polish. There is a big emphasis in this program on knowing the different manufacturing techniques for the different product forms. That's really, really important. They don't just use your standard equipment. And also quality checks. Again, you need to know your basic stability and quality checks for personal care, but there are extra quality checks for color cosmetics. So we teach all of those in this program as well. Again, we assume you have a very strong foundation of formulation knowledge before you start this program. So it's 150 hours of study on those really high-level problem-solving aspects. 11 full lectures, 150 plus pages of cosmetic science relevant to color cosmetic formulations, a database with thousands of raw materials, 20 plus practical activities, a written and practical assessment, one-on-one support via email and phone, and access to that professional student and graduate community. We do have our certificate in quality and stability. This is 2 units from our diploma. These 2 units are also in the certificate in advanced cosmetic science and also in our certificate in advanced hair formulations. These units can be studied on their own if you've, say, studied somewhere else and you want to focus specifically on microbial testing and control, good manufacturing practice, and stability testing. And again, when you study with us, we teach you full testing. You can do the testing yourself. We teach you what sort of equipment you're going to need. We teach you what sort of processes and procedures you need to go through to do all of the testing. We teach you how to interpret the results and, of course, fix the problems. So this is 80 hours of study, 8 full lectures, 110 pages of professional cosmetic science textbooks, stability protocols and templates that you can use in your workplace or for your own brand, a written assessment, support, and access to that professional student and graduate community. Again, we have the study only option and we have the full certificate option. Now, if you're studying our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation or our certificate in advanced cosmetic science, or our certificate in advanced hair formulations, you don't need to do this. This is already in those courses. Again, there's no point learning how to formulate if you don't understand good laboratory practice or good manufacturing practice, which is in this, how to test and check microbial content, and how to check, test and evaluate and fix any stability issues. And of course, that's what this particular small certificate does, but it is in those bigger training programs. So this is really there. If maybe you've had training elsewhere and you want to learn these aspects, you can do these as a separate certificate. Our Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management, again, either to get a job as a brand manager within a larger cosmetic company or for your own brand. It's 900 hours of study. There is that real world project as well as real world scenarios in your assessments as you study with us. 35 full lectures, 500 plus pages of professional marketing and brand management. And again, it's very, very specific to the cosmetic industry. We're not going to teach you general project management. We are teaching you cosmetic brand management. And of course, anyone out there that has a brand or has looked at this knows that this industry has very specific project steps, and that's what we focus on teaching you. You also learn full labels and claims cosmetic compliance. You learn your product evaluations for marketing claims and evidence support, market research, ingredient research, all of your labels and claims to make sure that what you're putting out there in the marketplace is fully compliant. And we have a big emphasis on that media planning, because you can have the best product in the world, but if not enough people know about it, it won't be successful. So we teach you right from the market research and market profiling right through to that media to make sure that you have a strong and unique product with a really great positioning strategy, so that you have a really effective marketing strategy, which then translates into good sales of product. And of course, when you learn to formulate with us, you'd also have a fantastic formula as well. So again, we have the study only option and we have the full diploma option. And again, this is where I've invited you, if you have your own brand and you really want to see what is learning like with the Institute, we have our Build Your Brand workshop. I invite you to go and do that. Like I say, first lecture is absolutely free. After that, it's $195 Australian dollar investment to find out what you don't know. And of course, you don't know what you don't know until I'm going to show you what you don't know and what you need to learn, more importantly, to support that really successful brand. Now, if you do that, not only will you not ask for your money back, but you know, I'm putting a guarantee there because I know you won't ask for your money back, because it contains so much information you're going to need. If you do that workshop, you go, hey, these are the people I need to study my full brand management with, we will then give you that $195 off your diploma course fees. So yes, it's a full, no risk way of seeing, how can I grow my brand? Are these the people to study with? Please do that Build Your Brand workshop. 100% money back guarantee. I know you won't ask for it. In fact, you'll probably come back asking for more. And the reason is we want to help you learn what you need to do to have that really successful brand out there in the marketplace. Of course, we've got some short course options and workshops. We've taken the certificate in cosmetic labels and claims is one of the units out of our Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management. If you don't want to do the full diploma, but you want to learn labels and claims professionally, and again, it's multi-country compliance, so you're learning labels and claims compliance for multiple countries around the world. And certificate in cosmetic market research, again, if you wanted to do just that unit, that again comes from that Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management, you can just do that unit on its own. If you do those units and you decide, hey, I want to study the full diploma later, then obviously you get a discount off the full study program. But again, please do that Build Your Brand workshop series, and I think there straight away you're going to see, in fact I know because I'm guaranteeing it, that you're going to see just how much you can learn with us and how it can benefit your brand to learn properly to have that successful brand in the marketplace. And of course, our certificate in cosmetic regulatory essentials includes EU and China product information file training. This is really important. If you're going to go into China or EU, you need to know how to prepare their product information files. They're not hard, but they are big, and there's a lot of information needed, and there's also additional compliance checks which we teach you how to do. There you go, there's the full list of countries. Let's see if I missed any. EU, China, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, USA, ASEAN, South Africa, South Korea and Japan. So in our Diploma of Diploma of Personal Care Formulation, we teach the ingredient compliance for all these regions. In our Diploma of Cosmetic Brand Management, we teach the marketing and claims compliance for all of these regions. When you do our certificate in cosmetic regulatory essentials, you learn both ingredient and claims and marketing compliance for all of these regions, because when you're working with regulatory affairs, you need to know how to check the ingredients and the claims and the evidence. And of course, for EU and China, you also need to know how to prepare that full product information file. It's 450 hours of study, 35 full lectures, 500 plus pages of professional compliance and quality text, full compliance templates. We've got a lot of templates in this program that you can use, to a lot of checklists to make sure everything's covered off on your label, that you've got the evidence for the claims you're trying to make, that you've got the right people signing off on the right aspects of every part of the project. 2 written assessments, one-on-one support, and of course access to that professional, student and graduate community. And again, we have the study only and full certificate options. So let's say you're busy formulating for your brand and you're also going to be doing the brand management, and you're like, look, I don't need the qualification, but I do need the learning. You can pick the study only option of this program. You'll also get a lot of course credits for some of the units where they overlap. As I've mentioned, there is the ingredient compliance and the claims compliance, so you of course would get credit for those subjects as well when you've completed them as part of another course. And the EU Cosmetic Compliance Workshops, these are absolutely essential if you're going to be selling in the EU and UK. You need that product information file. You can be your responsible person if you are in the UK or EU. And of course, it helps you prepare everything right up to the safety assessment and even compile the information for that safety assessor for final sign-off. So, some frequently asked questions. Can I call myself a cosmetic chemist? When you complete all the assessments, practical submission and exam for our Diploma of Personal Care Formulation, yes, you can. You are a fully qualified and will be a recognised cosmetic chemist. Do I need to be a cosmetic chemist to formulate for my own brand? No, you do not. But you do need to have that qualification if you want to call yourself a cosmetic chemist. We see a lot of brands out there where they like to say that they were founded by the owner who is a cosmetic chemist, and then they have no real qualification. If you do want to be able to make that claim, you do need to hold our qualification to say you're a cosmetic chemist. But you can, of course, study our certificate in advanced cosmetic science or certificate in advanced hair formulations, and that will also give you that very high professional learning for a salon quality brand. You can, of course, upgrade later if you wanted to. You can do these advanced certificates. As I've mentioned, there's 6 full units and 4 half units from the diploma. You can upgrade later, complete the rest of the study, and then get your full cosmetic chemist qualification. So there is that option as well. Contact us if you want more information about that option. The other thing, when you have your own brand, it's really important that you remember that the brand putting the product onto the market is responsible for the safety and performance of that product. So avoid a recall, learn properly. Can I focus on natural, organic, vegan, halal and palm-free products? Yes, you can. But to formulate competitive, high-performing products that compete with the more synthetic versions, you need to understand the synthetic materials that you're going to be replacing. So that is why we teach both. But then, of course, throughout your assessments and your projects, you can then focus on the materials and the product types that you really want to focus on. We need to teach you everything so that you understand them, but then you, of course, can focus on that learning throughout the program. What equipment do I need? We have made these programs to use very basic equipment. You've seen me on many videos where I'm using a whisk and a bowl. There's a few reasons I do that. I like to make sure that the ingredient selection in that formula and the way I put it together is so robust that it can be put together with even basic equipment and it's still going to be stable and effective. There are, of course, some ingredients that require high shear processing and more advanced equipment. There's exceptions rather than the rule. The rule that we like to make sure we're teaching you is that you're making the right ingredient selections and combinations and using the right method so that that product holds together even if you only have basic equipment. So when you're studying with us, you only need basic equipment to get started. And we do have a video on this and our full list. Again, if you contact us for this presentation, you'll be able to see the list of equipment you need to start with. But it is quite basic. It's some heating elements, whisks, stainless steel spoons, those heat resistant spatulas, and the bowls. And again, you see me use a lot of these in the YouTube video because again, it's about good formulation and methodology principles. It shouldn't need this high technology equipment for most of your product types in a lab. Otherwise, how's it going to hold together when you're making 200 kilos of product if you're relying solely on your equipment? So again, there are some exceptions to the rule, but in general, And definitely when you're studying with us, we make sure you get started with even just basic equipment, because we know a lot of you won't have access to a lab or some of that advanced equipment. But of course you do learn about more advanced equipment choices if you want to later on in the course. English is my second language. Can I study with you? Yes. When you apply, we get you to complete what we call a pre-learning document. This helps us just assess your current level of English, or even it might be a while since you've studied, or maybe maths or science wasn't one of your strong points at school. So we have this document which helps us see from the very beginning, do you need extra support in certain areas? Now, I have been talking very fast in this webinar. I'm aware there's a lot of information to get through, and so I've been talking very fast, but basically if you have been able to follow along in this webinar, if you've been able to read everything that I've been presenting, again, I have been talking very fast. I definitely talk a lot slower in my lectures with students, but if you've been able to follow along, then your English is more than enough. The training is all in English, and we do need you to submit assessments back to us in English, because our trainers, of course, well, we've got a couple of second language speakers, but all the assessments are in English. Do you need a background in chemistry or science? No, you do not. We teach you everything you need to know, and we make it very cosmetic chemistry specific. So we're not going to get you to do some advanced molecular equations, because we don't do that as a cosmetic chemist. You need to know about ingredient compatibilities. You need to know about safe and suitable choices, and we teach you that right from the very, very beginning, right through to the end of the program. So you don't need to have a strong background in chemistry or science. We'll make it fun, we'll make it enjoyable, and we're only going to teach you what you need to know to be a qualified and efficient cosmetic chemist. What are my options to pay? You can pay up front. We have bank transfer, Flywire and PayPal. You can pay by installment. There is a small admin surcharge to pay this way, but you can pay from $350 a month until course fees are paid. And the study only option is an upfront only option, but again, it's half the regular course fees. You can upgrade later. You get access to every bit of learning. You don't get the support, you don't have to do assessments, you don't get the qualification, but you do get access to every bit of learning at half the full study price. And how do I enroll? Complete the application form, so you can get that online, or you can email us for an application form and send that back in. We'll process your application and send you an invoice, and once paid you can start straight away. You can even go online onto our website and purchase either the study only option with or without a pack, your choice on that one as well, and you can of course also purchase online the full diploma or full advanced certificate option. So you can go online and purchase that way, or if you'd like to have an application form sent in first and an invoice created, definitely contact us for the application form. We can get that invoice out to you. I do get asked, is your training like YouTube? No, it is so much more. YouTube allows me to give you snippets of information. I can't possibly put 1,200 hours of training into one YouTube video. So it's so much more detailed. When I'm on YouTube, I'm usually looking at one particular issue or innovation, whereas our training, we are looking at a very comprehensive approach, addressing every bit of cosmetic science that we're teaching or brand management that we're teaching. If you are enjoying the free information, please go to YouTube, go to our channel and type in the search bar. You will be amazed at the amount of topics we have on there. If you're just after some more free stuff, if you're not sure yet, if you love watching me and hearing my voice, you'll get more of that in the lectures when you study with us, but you can get lots of it on YouTube as well. Just type in the search bar. We have over 200 videos. I think it might even be getting close to 300 videos by now. And you'll find all sorts of topics there related to any sort of questions you might have. And of course you learn so much more when you study with us. We also have a fantastic welcome pack if you're new to formulating, if you're still not sure, if you've got little questions about pH or lab equipment or how to source ingredients or some of the latest trends, email us for our welcome pack. We've got loads of our free YouTube links all listed out in categories for you. We're happy to give you this welcome pack because it's a way of getting you introduced into the industry even before you get started studying with us. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar. We've packed a lot into it again. It's been very much career and brand focused, what sort of study you'll need to get you there. Also about the programs, what they cost, our study only and full advanced certificate and diploma options, as well as so much more information about what you'll learn to formulate, what you'll learn in the brand management courses, what you'll learn with regulatory affairs. So if you do have questions, if you want your free welcome pack, or just anything else at all, please email us info@personalcarescience.com.au. I look forward to supporting you with your career and brand choices and really helping you achieve the goals you're aiming for. Thank you very much for joining me today.